Mike Pence, you might know him as the guy who barely saved our democracy by finally going against what his psychopathic president wanted after the 2020 election. You might remember that. You might also remember that he's got the personality of a potato, but that's all right. We're going to talk a little bit about him because you know what this potato wants to do? He wants to gut Social Security. I know. It comes up every few years. Republicans want to cut Social Security. They want to cut Medicare, want to cut Medicaid. They don't want to take care of people. And we get it. We get it, except that we pay Social Security. We pay in, we take out. That's how it works. Well, he wants to take it away for the younger Americans, 30s, 40s, those folks. Not abandon your grandparents. Now, this is strategic, guys, and don't ever for a minute believe it's not. He knows he needs your grandparents' votes. Now, the votes won't matter to him, really. He can't win the primary. He can't become the vice president again because Trump won't allow him. So I really don't even know what he's doing in this primary, except for espousing some of these ideas that really need to go away. But you know who else is championing this idea? Ron DeSantis. That's right. Meatball Ron. He also wants to take away your Social Security. He's all about it. And Meatball Ron, he actually... No, who am I kidding? He has no shot. He can't become the president because he can't win the primary. He's definitely too far down the road in disloyalty to Trump, Commander Trump. He's way too far down that road to be picked as VP. So I really don't know what he's doing in the race either, except placating a few donors who really, really wanted him to jump in and run. But they want to cut your Social Security and Medicare. They both face real challenges. And the challenges are simple. We don't end up with the money to pay for them if we, A, don't cut, or B, don't raise taxes. And everyone kind of takes a collective sigh and says, well, we don't want higher taxes, and we don't, they don't want to, Republicans sure don't want to cut the military's budget. We definitely need the military equal to the next 10 nations, right? And I'm not a military detractor. I served 14 years in the Navy. I don't hate the military. I just think maybe we could equal the next 5 countries instead of the next 10, or the next 4 countries instead of the next 10. I do think there's savings that can be made in the military, because there are. But even if we don't want to go that route, there's other ways to do this. You see, our rich still aren't paying their share of taxes. The richest Americans average about 3% of their income into taxes. Now, the dollar amount may be high, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're not each buying a cup of coffee and it's got to be the same price as the same cup of coffee. We're just not. They're benefiting from the benefits of America, the democracy, this global melting pot that we have. They benefit from it disproportionately than you do. And so they pay in more money, but it should be about the same percentage. And if they did just pay their share relative to what you're paying right now, Medicare is not a problem. Social Security is not a problem. And by the way, if Congress would quit touching Social Security isn't a problem either. That's a whole different story. And I think the most important thing to know here is that they want to go after people in their 30s and 40s when it comes to this Social Security. Well, it's time to fight back. Stop voting for these clowns who would take away what you've paid into. Vote for someone who absolutely will fight to keep what you've paid into. I'm not saying vote across the board for Democrats. I'm not even a Democrat. I'm a progressive. I am saying if a Republican speaks about making cuts to your benefits, things that you've paid into, they do not deserve your vote. They truthfully don't deserve your grandparents' vote. I'm a bit ashamed that people's grandparents don't care that their grandkids and great-grandkids are taken care of down the road. But that's a whole different story. When it comes to money, people get pretty tight-fisted. I will simply say, vote for someone who actually gives a damn about how you're going to survive in your 60s, 70s, 80s. For some of you, hopefully 90s and maybe early hundreds. I'd love to know somebody that's going to be 105 is watching this right now. That'd be amazing. But I'd also love to know that you're being taken care of at that time and not reaping the horrific results of what the Republican Party wants to do to you right now. It's time to step up and vote and take care of it, because 60 years from now, You're not going to be able to undo some of the horrible things they want to get done right now. And with the Supreme Court so far on their side, there's really nothing they want to pass that they couldn't get passed, even if it has challengers. They get it passed, it gets its challenges, the Supreme Court will strike down the challenge, and then it's law. And it's law until we finally get some more justices in there that care about justice, or until we get some politicians in there who give a damn about their citizens. Because right now, your modern day Republican Party does not care about its citizens. It's much more focused on Bud Light and books and keeping trans people down. I mean, come on. These culture wars, they got to stop. Ron DeSantis can, on one hand, say that woke is destroying the country, while on the other hand, say, I want to take 30-year-olds' Social Security away, and not understand how that truly actually does destroy the country down the road. It's appalling. Pence and DeSantis, they're both older, younger versions of the same thing. They're both also rans to Trump. Once this primary is over and Trump has smoked them all, we'll get to a presidential election, and then the real test is on. Do we care about democracy in this country anymore? Because if we do, there is absolutely no way Trump can go back to that White House. And if we don't care about it, I suppose that's exactly what will happen. I am definitely interested to know. For my part, I really hope we keep our democracy after 2024. That remains to be seen.